We're moving now, shifting to yet another part of this story, a key part of the picture here, Arab citizens of Israel who face a very complex reality and identity, particularly at a time like this. Before we talk, correspondent Ayman Sikseck has a bit more on the context and a very explosive exchange caught on live TV.
A live dispute between two Israeli Arab leaders on national television has brought to the fore the perilous situation Arabs in Israel are facing. In light of the recent wave of terror attacks against Israelis, leader of the joint list of Arab parties, Ayman Sikseck, was in Nazareth discussing racism and prejudice Arabs are facing during this time. But his live interview with the Evening News was cut short by no less than the mayor of the city. The live dispute followed weeks of intensifying tension within the Arab community in Israel. Last week, protests took place in the central Israeli city of Jaffa over the ongoing tension on Temple Mount.
This was not the fire of anger. This was only a spark. But the anger will come unless Israel addresses our needs and the need of the Palestinian people for freedom.
But this point may have been lost, as some Israeli commentators said the protests were a threat to Israelis. So the crisis for Arabs in Israel is also a crisis of accurate representation. In this battle, the media is a crucial means of delivering the right message.
The protests in Jaffa were represented in an exaggerated and biased way by the Israeli media, who were not even present. If they had been there, they would have seen that it's not as big a deal as they made it out to be.
Media representation aside, the purpose of the protest touched on a far bigger issue for Arab citizens of Israel, particularly the Muslim community: the status quo around the Al-Aqsa Mosque. According to the Israeli National Agency of Statistics, in 2012, there were 1.38 million Muslims living in Israel, an increase of 34,000 people over the previous year. 20% of all Muslims in Israel live in Jerusalem, the largest concentration in a single city.
This is not a demonstration of sympathy. We are not trying to sympathize with anyone. This is our cause, an Arab cause and a Muslim cause, and it's our duty to voice our objection to the actions of the Israeli government.
The question is, where does the Arab population in Israel go from here? Having elected a new political leader in a landmark election earlier this year, uniting all main Arab parties into one, the Arab population may now have to decide on electing a new way of making its voice heard.